And we're live. Hello, ladies. Welcome in. Welcome in. Who is joining me live today? You guys, one of these days, I know I'm gonna win a Grammy, okay, for my voice. So just bear with me. All right. But welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. If this is your first time seeing me or attending a live training of mine, you are welcome. My name is Abby and I'm a life coach. Okay, so I help overwhelmed professional women or women in the workplace who are tired, stressed out, burnt out. I help them have a work-life balance. So if you have any questions, or if any of the description that I'm going to talk about sounds like you, feel free to reach out to me via my DMs, or you can send me an email as well. All of my details are in my description box where you're watching this. Okay, so welcome in, welcome in. It's summer here, so we're enjoying the summer vibes. And today's topic is, I get this a lot. The conversation goes like this. Abby, yeah, it's great. Prioritize yourself and all that. But I have this. But I have that. But the circumstance this. But I'm the only one. But nobody cares about me. But there's always a but. There's always a but. And when I hear the buts, I get excited because that's why I do what I do. Like, I wouldn't be doing what I do if there were no buts. Okay, so we are going to be talking about some of the buts. So some of the things that you can start doing. First of all, understand some of the buts and some of the things that you can start doing to turn those buts around. No pun intended. So you can start prioritizing yourself in every circumstance. So there's a reason why I added that in today's video. In every circumstance. What does it mean to be the kind of woman that puts herself first in every circumstance? See, ladies, I've been multiple versions in my life. I've been through different experiences, and I can tell you for free, it takes a certain kind of energy, personality, character, knowing to be the kind of woman that puts herself first in every circumstance. Now, where things get interesting is that if you watch movies, you watch television, they portray the woman who puts herself first as this high maintenance, difficult, stressful, selfish, self-centered, all the negative things associated with that, they tag her to it. And they portray women who put themselves first as this people that you cannot please. They're so high maintenance again and whatnot. And what you guys don't know is that when you watch that and then you go back to your daily life, you're going to remember that when you find yourself in a circumstance where you want to put yourself first, subconsciously, you're going to start thinking, oh, people are going to start judging me like that woman. Oh, people are going to think I'm difficult. Oh, people are going to think I'm high maintenance and whatnot. People are going to think this, people are going to think that. And that stops you from doing the things or taking the action to actually prioritize yourself. So that's why I say it takes a certain kind of energy to do it. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it is for every woman. It is accessible to every woman. You just have to decide. You just have to decide who you want to be and whether you're ready to take those steps. So let's take a little step back. Let me tell you where I used to come from. So years ago, I was this, you know when you hear people pleaser, right? Like, you just want people to like you. You just want to do everything for everyone so that they can like you. That's your regular people pleaser. I would say that person is on a scale of, let's say 50%. I was on a scale of 100%. Ooh, gosh, I used to be so bothered about, oh, they'll think this of me, they'll think this of that and whatnot. And then my reality had to change, of course, when what happened to me happened. You know, when I went through my own transformation process and I almost lost my life, I then went on the end of the scale of who cares, leave me alone, don't talk to me. So I was on two extremes in this life, or in various aspects of my life. And the person that I'm talking about to you guys today, she's not on both extremes, she's actually in the middle. So in as much as my work is about making sure that you as a woman put yourself first and prioritize yourself and take care of yourself, it doesn't mean me all the time. Okay? Yes, others is so not where we're going. Ditch that, we're beyond that. But it's not also me every time. So there's a balance, which is the sweet spot. Because when you're in that middle, things will open, doors will open for you, life will change for you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a step back. So by the way, if I'm looking down, it's because I have my notes here. I usually have the things that I want to talk to you guys on each training, so we stay on track. So let's start with, what is the first number one reason that we have women struggling with this? Why is it so hard for the average modern day woman to prioritize herself in every circumstance? Okay, the first one is she doesn't see herself in that way. She doesn't see herself as the kind of person that deserves or is worthy of that. Another aspect to the way that she sees herself is she also has negative connotations about what a woman who prioritizes herself looks like. You cannot attract, or you cannot have, the thing that you criticize. If you are the kind of woman that criticizes other women that you feel are well taken care of, are spoiled, are happy, have time for themselves, if you criticize them, judge them, say have negative feelings and emotions about them, you will never become that kind of woman. Let me repeat myself. You will never allow yourself to even take the step to prioritize yourself. I learned this the hard way, because in addition to being a people pleaser, I used to be very judgmental as well. Oh, this one, this one, that one, that. And what I didn't know is that anytime you criticize what you secretly desire, you are setting yourself up for failure. Let me explain the psychology behind it. Because every action that you do is a direct implication of what you believe internally. I'm not talking about what somebody said to you yesterday and then you forgot about it. I'm talking about what you truly believe in your heart is how you act. So if, for example, you say, oh, I'm the kind of person that practices self-care, and then you forget to eat when you go to the office, or you refuse to take breaks when you're in the office, your action tells the world what you truly believe. What is the action saying? You don't think you should prioritize yourself. Therefore, you will not prioritize yourself. Okay? Now, when you criticize women who are looking good and looking well cared for, regardless of how they got there, what you are doing to yourself is you are programming yourself to say that is bad. let's not be like that woman, because whatever reason that makes you feel negatively towards her, that is bad. This also goes for celebrities. If you are criticizing, trolling, insulting, or have any negative emotions towards celebrities, female celebrities now, because I'm talking to women, towards female celebrities that have a look or have an aesthetic, or you like the way they care for themselves, or you like the results that they have that makes it look like they have really taken care of themselves, you will never be the kind of woman that does that. Because when you do that, you may think you're just trolling somebody, but when you do that, you are subconsciously telling yourself it is bad to do that. Therefore, whenever you find yourself in any situation, even if you read my emails or you read my social media posts, when it comes time for you to take the action, that part of you that felt that negative emotion towards the same thing that you want, it's gonna come up and say, this is bad. Therefore, don't take the action. And that's how you find yourself in the same position for years. It's like the same thing with money. People say they want money. People say they want to be rich. They want to be wealthy. They want to make more money in their business. They want to have freedom and all of that stuff. If you're criticizing rich people and you think that wealthy people are crooks, they're greedy, you're insulting politicians because they're rich and stuff like that, you're just sabotaging yourself. You're not going to have money because for you, money has been associated with a negative thing. And so you will do everything possible to sabotage the process of getting money because you do not believe that it's a good thing to have. Okay? Does this make sense? Does it make sense? Because it took me years of painful experiences to be able to arrive at this conclusion that I just told you guys. And that's why when women come to me and, we're working through something and, they're telling me, oh, AB, this keeps coming up every week. I'm like, wait a minute. Do you actually want this thing? They're like, yes, I want it. I'm like, what part of you, who will benefit if you actually don't get this thing? And then the truth comes out. Oh, okay, if I actually do this, then I'm going to think that people are going to look at me in a different way. How? They're going to say that I'm no longer this humble person. Now I've become self-serving and I'm become selfish. They're going to think I'm self-centered. Why do you think they're going to think you're self-centered? Well, because historically, I've always seen women who, take care of themselves like that. So now if I start doing it, I'm going to start feeling that way. So therefore, that's what's happening. Bingo. And that there, ladies, is the breakthrough. Is the breakthrough that occurs when you start to pull the layers back and understand the behavior into why you're not getting a certain thing. That is the breakthrough. So to kind of recap, one of the very first reasons why you may be struggling with becoming that kind of woman is because you don't see yourself in that way. And it could either be you don't believe you're worthy of it, you don't believe you deserve it, or you have a negative connotation towards what it means to prioritize yourself. And so you are not going to allow yourself take the action to do the things that will help you feel like you're prioritizing yourself, because to you it has a negative or bad connotation. Okay, so if this is your case, what do you do about it? So this is where what we call, psychologists, I've forgotten the name, but essentially this is where reconditioning your mind comes in. Because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to flip the script so that you can start becoming and seeing yourself in a way where you have a positive relationship with what it means to prioritize yourself. You're also going to have to flip your mind so that you can start seeing yourself as somebody that is worthy and like, oh my gosh, I'm so worthy. How can I not prioritize myself? That's how you're going to have to start seeing yourself. You're going to have to start seeing yourself as somebody that is valuable. Ladies, when you do that, it will change the game for you. This is the work that I do with my clients. It will change the game for you because now you're going to be working with your body and your mind to get you to where you want to go. Okay? All right. I do have to be somewhere else after this. So this is going to be short, but we're going to get through all the points that I have for you guys today. All right. The second reason, or the second most common blocks that women face when it comes to wanting to prioritize themselves is they are in an environment, and in that environment they have taken on the negativity of that environment, and the negativity of that environment has and continues to tell them that, first of all, it's not possible to be the kind of woman that prioritizes yourself. Second of all, it's not realistic. Third of all, who do you know actually prioritizes yourself? Like, come on, let's be real. Like, are you kidding? Like, I'm a modern day woman. Like, I have kids. I have to go to work, and I have to work in my business. Like, it's not possible. Like, look at everybody around me. Who has it? Most people that I know are sleeping at 2 a.m., waking up at 5 a.m. So why will I have it? That's the question. Why would you have it? The answer, you will not. You will not. You know why? Because you don't believe it. That's why. Not because your environment is negative. Yes, that's one of the reasons. But because you have bought into the lie that it is not possible for you, and you have not seen examples of women around you that have this thing, so therefore you don't believe it's possible, so therefore you're not going to have it. Like, there was a day I was having a conversation, with a woman, and a very sweet lady, and gosh, she has like 3 beautiful kids, you guys, like, they're just gorgeous. And we're talking, and she was telling me about her schedule and her work and whatnot, and she's quite religious too as well. And she tells me that I'm struggling, I have to go do this with the kids, have to go to work. Her husband, I think, works in another city or something like that. And she has 3 kids that she's responsible for. She has a full-time job that is quite demanding, she's in a very masculine role. And she says, she's telling me I go to bed at 1 a.m. and I have to wake up at 5 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., because I have to get the kids ready and stuff like that and drop them. And then she goes and says, it's just the reality that I see. Like, most of my friends, most of my family members that are women, we're all in the same shoes, but we'll get our reward one day. I know that we're going to get our reward. And I pause. Like, when she was telling me her reality and whatnot, like, I've heard worse. So that it didn't, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, because no, it's completely solvable. What took my attention was my So circle is in the same boat that as I am. We're gonna get our reward. She's quite religious, like I said. We're gonna get our reward, and we know we're gonna get rewarded for all the efforts and whatnot. And I'm like, rewarded? You are. This is your reward. What else? What reward do you think you're gonna get? And then after the conversation, it reminded me of when I was growing up. They would say things like, suffer this, suffer that, so that in the future you can have this. And I look at my life and I'm like, no, I didn't see any reward when I was almost dead. The reward was that I actually almost died. And I had to tell her, I said, that's not life. Nothing is guaranteed in life. You may sacrifice your life, but that doesn't mean that your husband is going to talk to you 10 years from now. It doesn't mean your children are going to want to talk to you 20 years from now. They owe you nothing. So saying that you have your reward, this is the reward. You living through this experience, you going through the process is the reward. Is the reward. Because if you understand how you attract things to you, you attract what you want. So you can't be believing and thinking a certain way and expect to have the other. It doesn't work like that. And I have seen this play out. I have seen this play out with a relative of mine. I think she's in her 70s. You guys, the story I heard is that this woman she didn't really have life easy with her. She didn't really have life easy with her. I think she had issues with her husband or something like that, and they were separated and whatnot, and she raised the kids by herself. And she's in her 70s, and this woman, some of her kids don't talk to her, and this woman is bitter. She is bitter in her 70s. This is somebody that should be enjoying the fruit of her labors, but she's not. And that's life. Nothing. The only thing that is guaranteed in life is change. That's it. Nothing else. So if this woman was like in her 30s, 40s, 50s saying, oh, I'm going to get my reward, oh, this, that, well, she's gotten the reward. What she's experiencing, that's the reward. Is it fair? We've gone beyond that. That's why I do these conversations with you guys, so you understand that, look, it's gone beyond that. It's not about what's fair, what's not. It's about what can you do now. N-O-W, now. So that you can have the reward that you want. You cannot live life a certain way. You cannot be careless with your life, careless with your health, careless with your well-being, sacrificing yourself, and expect that in your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, if you want to live longer, and hundreds, that you all of a sudden you're going to be a different person. What is the reward for doing that? Health issues, mental issues, unhappiness. That's the reward. That's the reward. You cannot reverse life, right? You can't cause and effect. You do this, you get this. You do that, you get that. Your subconscious doesn't know what's bad and good. It just knows that, all right, she's thinking so much about how she doesn't matter and how she's not going to put herself first, so let's give her more of that. That's all your subconscious is thinking. So if you're in that place where you're thinking, well, I'll get my reward after this, this is your reward. I have been sent to wake you up as a second reward. You are welcome. Because some of us didn't get that. But the process, whatever you're experiencing now, just the experience of it itself is the reward. There's no other reward that's coming. No other reward that at least will be in alignment with what you want if you don't change what you are doing today. That's it. Is it fair? Like I said, we are beyond that. If we were talking about fairness, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. It's not about what's fair. It's about what you get to have. And the beauty about life and why I love, oh my gosh, why I love the work of self-improvement and just leveling up is that everything is compounding in your favor. Because when you do one thing, oh my gosh, it compounds to the other thing and it becomes easier the more that you do it. You guys, don't mind me. Let's see how we're doing with time. Okay, so I do have one more point that I want to get to before we end the live. So if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the chat and I will address them. The third one is I touched about it in the first reason, but the third reason why you may be struggling to put yourself first in every circumstance is that somehow you think that you're hurting humanity by doing so. You think that you're a bad person. You're gonna create bad things. You're gonna attract bad karma to you. Again, you're gonna be viewed as self-centered. But where this third reason comes in is you genuinely believe that humanity will not benefit from you being leveled up. So if you genuinely believe that humanity will not benefit from you prioritizing yourself, because there's so many messages out there that talk about self-prioritization as being self-centered, even more so when a woman is somebody that chooses herself first. There's so much messages in there that are saying you're hurting humanity. And so if you're somebody that actually cares about doing good work in this world and you really want to touch lives, you are going to have so much conflict with this. And you will be constantly fighting yourself to resolve this. I talk about this. I can narrate it for you guys because this was me. Yes. Before I started being a coach officially, I actually used to coach women. I used to volunteer to coach women. I used to volunteer to inspire women and whatnot. So I've been doing this for some time. I just didn't call it coaching. And when I was in that state of, ooh, everybody else is more important than me, whatnot, when I was in that state, when I think about, oh man, I need to put myself first. I need to say no to this thing that they're asking me to do because, it doesn't favor me. When I think about it, I'll start to think that I'm hurting humanity. And I'll start to think that who's going to benefit if I'm the only one benefiting from this? It's selfish. It's not the right way to go. God is going to hate me and things like that. And so when I hear messages like what I'm telling you guys today, I'm going to start having internal conflicts. You know why? Because the real me, the real AB, the one that you see today, knows the truth and is like, girl, stop it. But the programmed, conditioned part of me growing up is like, oh, we can't accept this message because it's going to hurt humanity. And because I am the kind of person that wants to better humanity, can you see the reason why it took me long to do this? Can you guys see the reason? Because even when I want to, I would write down tips. Like you guys, I didn't start all of these notes today. I love taking notes. I will write down tips of what to do to care for myself. I'll write it down and whatnot. When it comes to time to do it, like somebody's asking me for something that's completely unreasonable and I'm like, excuse me? When it comes to that time, I will start to think, oh, if I do this, it's wrong because, people are going to suffer for it. They're not going to benefit. I would go into that mind of how laying down my life is the better part of it. Laying down my health and my well-being, throwing all of that, it was not important because it will better society. Because women will be able to, the nonsense that was coming out. Nonsense. And I'm grateful for the experience. I'm always grateful for the experience, you guys. I know I talk passionately about the past, but it's only because I want you to be able to gain that visibility and clarity into some of the things that I tell you guys. But the danger of this reason is because it actually comes across as savior. It comes across as this full savior, as this noble, that's the word I'm looking for. It comes across as noble. It comes across as, wow, AB, sent AB. That's how it comes across. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There's nothing saintly about that. Nothing. I actually had to go do research on this. Went to search religious topics. There is nothing, no word in there. Like I went to search the Bible and whatnot. It's not there. So where did I get this, lay down your life and kill yourself is better than humanity? There's nothing noble about that. But it's the conditioning and all those things that I heard. Again, I'm grateful for where I am, okay? All this happened so I can come here and tell you guys. And so if that's you, if you think that you're being noble and you're being a saint and you're being a savior, and of course you think you're gonna get the reward that you're being a saint by laying down your life and you're helping humanity, you're only helping yourself. Yes. You don't know that. And I don't blame you for that. That's why I'm talking to you right now. You are only helping yourself. How are you only helping yourself? Okay. When I was in that state, because I was so wounded and just so much trauma and whatnot, when I'm talking to women and whatnot, they are taking on that trauma as well. Do you guys know that energies are transformated? Like you can transfer energy from one person to the other. That's why some of you guys, when you message me, you tell me how uplifted you feel after watching my live trainings. You're picking up my energy. And because my energy comes across as uplifting, I like to think that, and you guys have told me that, thank you very much, you also take that. If I came here and I'm bashing all of you and I'm telling you, you're not good enough, you're not enough, you're useless, you're that, you're gonna leave here feeling like the worst. So when you're in that place where you're not putting yourself first and you're laying down your life because you want to be a savior and you want to be noble, when you step into women's field, they're going to pick up that energy and they're going to think that that's okay. That's not okay. They're going to think that that's okay. They're going to do the same thing. Guess what? You just made life worse. You just made humanity worse. Whereas, if you nourished yourself and then you went to meet your friends or whatever women friends that you have, and you came and you're like looking so radiant, and your friends are like, oh my gosh, girl, I want to have what you eating. And you're like, oh, I'm just resting and whatnot. Just your presence alone is so uplifting to them, and they're going to start, especially because they're seeing the results, they're going to start wanting to imitate you. And just by that, you didn't even have to do anything. Just by that presence alone, you're changing the world. And the other aspect of this, one of my favorite, is that when you're actually well-watered, when you're actually so cared for, you start to want to give to people. You start finding yourself in a position where you want to better humanity. What can I do so that other people can enjoy the same thing that I'm doing? You start to self-actualize. You start to want to make things better where you are because Your life is so good. Now you want other people to enjoy the same thing. So the thing they say about hurt people, healthy people want healthy people too. So that's how humanity benefits. Do you guys see how all of this works? Do you see how all of this works? Do you see how you just taking an action has automatically changed the world? Do you see that? And the best part, nobody's sacrificing themselves. You're both enjoying, you're enjoying yourself, your well-being, the other person's enjoying herself, and everybody wins. Everybody wins. It's that simple. Well, when I say it like that. But at least you guys get the point. You get the point in all of this. I can go on and continue to talk about this because there's so many more reasons that I have heard and I continue to see. One day I'm going to bring a picture for you guys that I saw online, and they wrote all of these things about keep going, keep doing your thing, keep pushing, keep pushing through. And the picture was about a woman who had drip in her hand. She was in the hospital, bruised from all the work she's been doing, and you're telling her to keep going, keep pushing, keep doing what? This woman is almost dead, and you're saying keep going. But that's a conversation for another day. I'll share it with you guys later. Okay, so ladies, how are we enjoying this training so far? I actually have to drop soon. I want to make sure that if there are any comments, I cover them, or any questions, because what I've noticed in the past is you guys have put some comments, but I don't see it. It's after I've ended the training, then I see the comments. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but I just want to make sure that if there's any comments, I am covering it. But right now I don't see any. So if you've actually put a comment or a question, I cannot see it. So what I would do is after I end this broadcast, I'll go back, check the comment, and then I'll answer the question. And if I need to reach out to you, then I will, okay? All right, so ladies, before we end today's broadcast, don't forget, we have the masterclass that is coming up July 20th. This is not your average masterclasses. You know why? Because I'm going to be giving you guys the tea that I give to people who have paid me money to work with me. This is actually a mini course, and that's what we're going to do. So I tell you, anybody can give you tips and tricks. Like Google it, you see it. Anybody can do that. The real psychology behind why tips and tricks are just tips and tricks is what's missing. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. So we're going to be talking about how do you actually succeed at work? Like, how do you actually succeed at work without actually killing yourself? How do you have success without actually burning yourself out and sacrificing your personal life and whatnot? I'm going to be sharing the tea on what I used to do that failed me and what I have been doing that has been working for me. Okay? And no, I'm not going to tell you guys what next. I'll tell you next week. I'll keep that to myself. But other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me if you need help. Okay? You need help. You're looking for how to move to the next step. You're struggling. You are feeling overwhelmed. You are burnt out and don't think it's possible for you. You're feeling lost. You just think that there's more to life than where you are. If any of this category works for you, or any of the stuff that I talk about, if it resonates with you and you need more information and more help, feel free to reach out to me. We'll have a conversation and I'll be able to share with you what you can do to be able to get to your next level, okay? And those conversations are free, by the way, so just so you know that. All right, but other than that, wonderful ladies, make sure you take care of yourself because I'll be watching, you know, still. But other than that, I will see you when I see you. Bye, girls.